What's going on, guys? So if you've been watching some of the videos that I've been uploading, I'm doing like 3 videos in one here. I've done the 4-wheel drive actuator on the passenger side and already changed out the strut, which it's not like an install video, it's kind of like a initial review video for that. But this video, we have to change out my front CV axle because the boot is broken and I've been driving around like that for probably a month now. So to remove the axle, if you know you have to change your actuators or your strut, do all of it at the same time, because to remove the axle, you have to, to remove like the actuator or the strut, you got to remove the axle in a way. So if you got to do the stuff, do it all at the same time. That's why I've been kind of collecting all my parts. But anyways, we're going to remove this nut here. So we have to remove the cotter pin and remove the nut. Remove this cotter pin and this nut for the steering rack, the steering, why can I not think of the name of this? Anyways, this has to pop off, this has to pop off. Then we're gonna undo these bolts here for the brake line and ABS line. That was a whole bunch of grease, so we have more access, and then this way it's going to allow this assembly to dangle down. There's also a 13mm nut in here for the axle itself, and then once all that's down and out, we can pop the axle out here, and then we'll just have to yank it pretty hard to get it out of the differential itself. So let me go get started removing all this, because I'm also going to remove the strut because I'm changing it, but it's just going to be removed for the video. Otherwise you shouldn't have to remove it for the axle. So let me go get started unbolting everything. There it goes. There can be a little cap here on the front of the hub that you're going to want to pop off to get to the nut. Oh, shoot. Like I said, good time to change out your actuator, which this was the bad one. The other side was still good. This one's the garbage one. So, but otherwise, now we just have to get the axle out. How? I have no idea. But to make my life easier, because the strut has to come out, I'm going to take the strut off now. And if anyone is watching this and they go to do it and they're like, man, he made it look so easy, everything's coming off so easily. I have 120,000 miles on this truck. I have changed out my front struts. This is going to be the 3rd time doing the struts. And then I did all my front suspension, lower arms, upper arms, tie rod ends. That's what they're called, tie rod ends, sway bar links. The brakes I've done 3 times now, rotors once. So, but I also painted everything, put NECs and Loctite. So I've been through my suspension quite a few different times. So yes, it's gonna come out fairly easy now with everything. Otherwise, penetrating oil is your friend. All right, so now that we got the strut out of the way so you guys can see better, Pretty sure it's just gonna pull out. Kind of like a four-wheeler axle. Wait a second. Oh. Part of the four-wheel drive actuator was still inside there. That's cool. No wonder it was broken. Alright. Pretty sure that's how this one comes out, because all the ones I kept seeing online, everyone's showing it's bolted in. That's clearly not the case with this one. Whenever I change out the four-wheeler ones, they just, I mean, you gotta give them good yanks, but granted this ain't a four-wheeler, so. Hey, look, I'm finally bleeding on the job. Oh wait, that's not blood. That's red grease for YouTube, because I don't want to get demonetized. Thanks, appreciate it. It's red grease. Let me go make sure that it's gonna yank out, because the new one, it's got a compression ring, clip ring, that as soon as you pop it in, it locks. So yeah, let me go make sure on that. So camera cut out again. Okay, not again on me, not on you guys, but it does have a seal that was sitting right here. Should be able to reuse this one, but you really shouldn't. So I'm gonna call the store, see if they have one. But otherwise, got it out. Oh, I just grabbed a whole bunch of grease. Otherwise, got it out. It is just a pull on, and what I ended up using was a tire horn, getting it back behind this and just popping it off from underneath. So sticking it up and then prying it till it finally came out. So the new one I don't think comes with the new seal, but let me go check. But this is what I mean. Get it, old son. Anyways, this is what I mean with this like compression clip. So it's a C-clip, but once it goes in, it locks it, and then you can just kind of pull it out with some force. But anyways, let me go check that new one. All right, so it's the next day. I went and got the part from Ford. As you can see, that's the part number. I will put in the description down below, because anywhere I was going to find this part or the seal, all the ones that people were showing me, even at the auto parts stores, did not look like this. So even them researching it, they could not find it. And me thinking it was just like this, it's actually this metal piece all around here as well that you can see. It's just dirty, so I gotta clean this all up. I'm gonna scrape it off with the screwdriver pick, and then I'm gonna pop it out, so then we can put the new one in and get this all back together. Because this morning I had to get driven by my mom to get to work, and then my dad took me to his work so that my mom could pick me up from there because I was near his work. It was fun. So, but I mean, I do have another vehicle, but it doesn't have an engine. I mean, it's got an engine, it's just sitting in the garage. But yeah, so you know, got one truck that needs work and another truck that needs work. Let's get this changed out. Hey, there we go. But it's out. What we're gonna do, shove this back in here, spray it with some brake clean, scrape it off. All right, we're gonna use a very special tool. It costs hundreds of dollars. Some of you might recognize it as a plain old 2x4, but I promise you, this 2x4 cost me, I think it was about $125. I think that will do, just to be sure. Now that that's in, we'll grab our CV axle and put that in. Be sure to lube up the gears, not gears, but the spline on the axle. Like so. Okay, it went in. No, it's not going in. And there it goes. Now it is officially locked in. Cool. So now I'm going to put the new strut back in. Not back in, but put the new strut in. And we can put everything back together. Now, slide this over here. Difficult. Well, it looks like it went all the way in, which is good. Now we can do the axle nut, which this is only like 30 foot-pounds, not aggressive. for the axle nut, so don't over tighten it. Just needs to be a little bit. But normally when you're putting this together, you want to spin the hub while you're spinning the axle, so then it all slides together, but it looks like it all worked. Otherwise, Ford tells you you got to pull vacuum while you're doing it, but if you're kind of careful with it and you work with it. Oh, I just kneeled on something sharp. That hurt. So while you're doing it, it'll work its way in, but we still have to put the bolt in for this and pull that up. So all right, now it's just a matter of tightening down all the bolts, putting Loctite and anti-seize on everything, and we're good to go. I don't think you guys need to see that. So all right, I'll catch you in a little bit. All right, so I got everything back together. All the bolts and cotter pins are in and tight and torqued. Even got the cap back on the axle nut. So everything on this side, strut, CV axle or half shaft, 4x4 actuator or four-wheel drive actuator, whatever, and the differential axle shaft seal. So all that is replaced on this side, and brakes are looking pretty decent. So all right, now put the wheels back on, and then that's it for this video, because this video is just for the CV axle. I'm gonna have two other videos, one for the four-wheel drive actuators, which, I mean, basically the same thing. Swap it out while you're doing this, or similar to doing it, but I want one dedicated for it. And now, then one for the struts themselves. But otherwise, I will catch you guys later. I gotta go clean up, put the wheels on, and then go do the outros to those videos. So I will catch you guys later. Bye.